Here we go. Thursday night live stream is fired up. We'll wait for a few people to get in here, and I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing. $8 p.m. Eastern time. Why didn't I get a notification? Well, I just got a notification on it. So we'll let some viewers come in here. Make sure we got everything set up over here on the streaming computer, and then I'll tell you what we're looking at. We got to know what we're looking at, know what we're working, to know what we're doing. Nope, I just all that up. If we know what we're looking at, do we know what we're doing? Let me flip it over so you know exactly what you're looking at. Turn it the right way right there. And that blocks me out, but I'm still back here somewhere. There you go. We'll pretend like that ain't creepy, right? All right, so let's get a few people in here. A few people in the stream. Where you at out there? How is it going in your neck of the woods when you tune in? Let me know. I'll tell you what we're doing, though. It has to do with a power supply. That's what you're looking at. I built the Alienware abomination a while back, and it's an Alienware Aurora R7, I believe. It's got a Intel 8700 processor, and I'd been running it with a 6600 XT graphics card, but I needed that mini ITX build because it only has a 400 power supply. So it uses an SFX power supply. Instead of finding another SFX capacity and paying for it, I decided it would be easier to swap the 6600 XT into the mini ITX and take the 2080 Super that I had that I was going to put in the mini ITX and actually put it in the Alienware build here. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Start the live stream off here. Thursday night live stream at Sensation. What could be better? We'll let a few viewers connect before we start tearing in the stuff here. Let the live chat get going. I'll move that power supply out of the way. Well, you can get my ugly plug up here. We'll set that down right there. I think I got to turn you guys up a little bit so you can see better, but we'll see. Not having any issues tonight, so the live stream went off without a hitch, it looks like. So, woohoo, we won on that front, right? Tell me what you thought about Tuesday night's video, the drop computer, because I can tell you a little bit more of the story on that one since we're on the live stream. There is a second part to that video. It obviously way too much content there for me to edit into one video, and I didn't want to waste some of the better parts of it. As you remember, it had a broken fan on the graphics card, so I wound up ordering new fans for that, and I replaced both the fans on the graphics cards. We got the new CPU cooler in, and it matches the build really nicely. And I got the case straightened out pretty good too, so that was a nice little addition to that. So we got the case and everything straightened out on it. We gotta get our going. I see a few viewers tuned in, a couple to a few of you, so we got to get a live chat going here. That way I can get busy. I'm going to be patient here for a little bit. And then I'm going to start tearing into this thing because whether or not people are viewing or I'm just standing here looking pretty. The work's going to get done on this computer regardless. But I will wait a little bit. I have a bit of patience. I'll run the live stream about an hour tonight, close to what I normally do. I think last week I ended up going 2 hours or a little over that. And I'm not in for a marathon tonight. We're just gonna do about an hour, and we're gonna call her quits at about 9 p.m. Eastern time. Or 9:15, somewhere in there. But I'll let everybody get tuned in. That's gonna get tuned in. We'll get settled in. I know some of my regulars will be in here. They come in every Thursday night stream. Well, hopefully they'll be here anyway. One or two might already be tuning in and watching. But that live chat will get going pretty quickly, I'm sure. And make sure when you tune in, if you haven't tuned in, to let me know where you're tuning in from. What part of the US are you in, or what part of the world are you in? So let me know that in the chat. Let's see some chat messages pop up. Let's get this thing going here. We got a new thermal smart 700 sitting right here. You know that this is my go from best Canada. All right. Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome. Good to see you guys in the stream here tonight, Richard, and I am perplexed. I like that one. I am perplexed. That's better than me. I'm always confused. So what do you guys think about the 700-watt thermal take? I've been using these for a long time, and I've had good luck out of them. Oh, I don't know why I'm losing the audio. I'm going to hold on to the microphone. We'll try that. We'll see if that's any better. We'll see if the audio stays pretty solid now. I hate to have to do that, but I noticed these microphones having a little bit of trouble earlier when I did some audio testing, so I'm wondering if that is a problem with it. And it only seemed to do it when it was fastened to my shirt, so that's the weird part about it. But it does have a magnet on it, so we can like this, and I'll stick it to the back of the make a better signal to the receiver that's plugged into the USB-C. Is it better now? You'll have to put in a chat if it's better now. If it's not, I'll switch over to the second microphone. And I may even try putting a USB extender on to extend that out a little bit. First now. We're going to switch the audio out real quick. I think I could fix it. I have two of these microphones. I'll show you the microphone in a minute. So I have two of these little microphones, and they go to a little USB-C receiver on my computer. So I'm going to swap to the second one. Oh, well, I don't think that battery on the back of it's going to do it no good, but just give me just a second. We'll get this swapped over. All right, let's see if this one's any better. This is microphone number 2 now. So let's see if it cuts in and out or if it's any better. Get that put onto my shirt here. All right, just let me know in the chat if we got better audio now so we can continue on with this thing. And if not, I'm just going to unplug the audio device and move it. Maybe it's not got a good signal where it's sitting or something. I don't know. These little lapel Amazon mics. I guess it is what it is with these things. Hopefully it's not cutting out on you no more. Seems better now. Good deal. All right, let's get to work then. So if you don't know this computer sitting in front of me, this is an Alienware Aurora R7. And I built this computer a while ago, and it's in one of the videos. I got the motherboard without the case or anything. So I wanted to be able to make the case work, or make the motherboard work in a different case. So we have the power button working on it, but we do get an error message when we boot it up. I'm going to go ahead and show you since what it does. No, I can't. Because the power supply in here, we got no way to hook up our 2080 graphics card. So we're going to have to get into this box before we tear into this guy. So I'm going to go ahead and set this guy down for now. That way we can get the power supply opened up, and then we'll get it ready to put in here. Hopefully we're past all of our audio drama. It's actually my house. It's we call it the overflow room of the house. It's mostly overflow because it's got all my stuff in it. Especially when it comes to my PC obsession. Let me get a razor blade and cut that. That screwdriver is just not working too good for us here. We're just going to cut the plastic open on this thing. This is actually a wet bar area in my house, which is the craziest part about it. That way that's why you guys see a sink sometimes in the background, because it's part of the wet bar. And the bar itself is actually what I'm working on. That's what I set up the computers on to do all the recordings and stuff. So we're going to get the power supply out, and we're going to drop the power cord. We don't need that stuff anyway. If you mess with computers like me, you got power cords laying all over the place. I'm pretty sure of that. So that's how it comes out of the box. I'm going to go ahead and drop all the bread ties off of it so we can get all these cables out. One of the things I like about the later runs of these smart power supplies is the fact that they use the flat cabling. So if you take a look here, you'll see that that is a flat black cabling, and I really like how they do that. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that, Richard. That's just part of our obsession, right? All right, we'll get this off here. And I just want to show you this thing unpackaged. I've been using the Thermaltake Smart Power Supplies for a long time, and I've put them in a lot of builds, and I've never had a comeback or any problems with them. So I choose them because I can get them from my local Best Buy, and these things only run me about $55. So, oh, there ain't nothing wrong with playing some War Thunder while you're watching. I'd get on there and join you, but I got a power supply to put in first. So that's our HDMI for our capture card. We can set that to the side because we don't need it yet. All right, standard watts for a gaming PC with mini fans. That right there is going to depend more on what graphics card you're using and what processor that you have. So when you're trying to get your wattage on your power supply, different processors and definitely graphics cards make all the difference in how big of a power supply you need. So to give you an example on this one, this Alienware Roar R7 has an Intel i7 8700 in it. That processor's probably, I don't know, without looking it up, it's probably easily over around 125 watts. So you got 125 watts going right there. And I can tell you that the RTX 2080 is probably 250 watts by itself. So let's figure 150 on one and 250 on the other. So that kind of build a minimum of a 600, 650 watt power supply, I would think, because you have to figure in your motherboard, then all your fans on top of that. And if you're running a liquid cooler, that even takes more energy. So that's kind of how you want to play that. But definitely your processor and your graphics card are going to play the biggest part of that. We're going to get our computer back up here now because we have a graphic, or we have a power supply that we need to take out. So this case is really nice. It's a, I don't even know what kind it is. Let me look and see if I can, I can't remember what kind it is. FSP, I'm wanting to say. That sounds right. I don't know. Somebody, when I first displayed this case, someone said they had one just like it. I think the feller said he even had some parts for one because I needed a part for this, but I ended up getting it. Well, there goes my Discord going off too. All right, so we'll get this first side cover off. We're going to have to take both of these off of here in order to access the cabling and the power supply. And then I'll get you guys, I'll get it flipped on its side actually, and I'll turn the camera down where you can see inside of it. I do have a capture card, so when we're ready to power this thing up after we get it put back together, you'll be able to see it just like I do on the screen. And we can even run some bench testing to see how it does with the 2080 Super in it. That 2080 Super is still a pretty stout card in 2025. Actually, I can't flip it down yet. But I already have the 2080 Super sitting in it. We'll turn it sideways here. I'm going to reel you guys down a little bit so you can see a little bit better. So just hang tight. I'll crank you down. There you go, right there. Get the camera turned down so you can see what I'm working on here. And this is it. Right there. So there's that 2080 Super. We need to unhook the power supply. So that's exactly what I'm going to go after here. 24 pin. Get it ready to run out. My favorite up here is, oh no, we have an issue. I forgot all about this. This might not work at all. I'm going to show you why. This is something on the Alienware builds. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. We're going to need a different power supply. Let's flip this thing over. All right. This is hard to see, so I'm going to try to move the camera in where you can see it. If you look right down here, you see the CPU cooler, but you're going to see an 8-pin right where the power supply cabling goes in, right straight down. You see that 8-pin right there, okay? And then at the top of the board, there's going to be a 4-pin. So it's harder to see with the camera, but right where the power goes in, that's a 4-pin. So this power supply, luckily, that's in here has, shut that light off on my phone. It has a 4-pin and an 8-pin already in it, okay? But the problem is is this new power supply doesn't have dual power feeds on it. So the 700 watt smart, I know for a fact, whoa, wait a minute, maybe it does. We might be okay here. Oh, we got this. So the 700 watt smart does have it. We lucked out. So this is the extra piece we need, because we need to be able to run a 4-pin at the top and then an 8-pin down by the GPU power. So we need a double there. Hopefully this is long enough. We're going to find out on this install right here. But thankfully, that's going to work, I believe. So let's get you tuned back down here again. And you're looking down inside the PC that I'm working on. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to it. We're going to pull our 24-pin off. And then we're going to pull our 4-pin off at the top here. This is a pain in the butt to do. And then we got an 8-pin right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull the graphics card out. That's just going to give you more room to see and give me more room to work. So we're going to go ahead and get that out. Probably if I wasn't filming, swapping the power supply out might take a whole 15 minutes. And that's even routing the cables around, undoing the cable management, but filming and kind of taking my time with it probably take us about 30 minutes, I'd say. But I'm pulling the graphics card out now. It's going to give us a little bit more space, give you more space to see. Oh, we'll drop all the screws. Makes it more fun to put back together, right? Always more fun when you got to hunt for screws. All right, let's get this graphics card out. There it is right there, RTX 2080 Super. We'll set that to the side. I do appreciate you guys for being patient. Any of you guys and gals that tune in. Here's the other 8-pin I'm talking about on this. Right here. So it runs down right ahead of the GPUs. So there's an 8-pin right here. Let's see if you guys can see what I see. Right there is an 8-pin. And you still got a 4-pin at the top. So that's what we're working on now. We got the first 8-pin out, or the first 4-pin out, now the 8-pin out. So it looks like everything for our power supply is unplugged. I'm going to flip the case up now. And I'm going to run this stuff back through. Try to. If I remember, this was a pain to put this top pieces in here. So it's going to be a pain to get these back out. Ugh. I'll let you look up while I'm working here. There we go. Yeah, these don't fit through the top of this very well, and that's one of the issues. I wish I had better camera positioning for you. Let me look at something over here real quick. Yeah. Yeah, you guys know power supplies are pretty they're pretty common thing, 4 screws and wires, but sometimes routing this stuff is a whole different animal. And that's what SimStation is here for. I don't have any motherboard testing. I have to get this done. And then we are going to do some bench testing once it's done. So that's going to happen too. Getting this, let me show you what I'm working on. I'm going to flip the case down on its face. And then I'm going to turn you guys down where you can see this, because this is a pain. And I mean a complete pain. All right, so we'll get you down here a little bit more. Maybe. See if you can see in this corner right here. I'll put my screw, there you go, you can see it. So I am trying to work the CPU power back through this little bitty slot right here. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is the biggest pain. It's not just a pain to get in there, it's a pain to get back out. So I'm going to try to use a screwdriver to help it without bending the heck out of everything. This is the joys of working on a PC, right? There we go. We just give it a little help to get it out of there. We're going to do the same thing with this one once we get it started here. Nope, we got it out just a tad bit easier. All right, so now we got our 24 pin. And then somewhere we have an 8 pin that needs to come out too. So we got a 24 pin and an 8 pin. We're going to stand this up straight where I can look inside here and make sure I'm pulling this out without yanking all the other cables out. So same thing on our graphics. The reason we're swapping this power supply is because this come in a already built computer and it didn't have any cables in it for SATA or extra PCI Express. So we can plug one PCI Express in, but we can't plug two. Also, this has a bracket on the back of it, and I'm going to show you when I get it unbolted. I'm going to take the bracket out first so we can remove the entire power supply. And then we're going to bolt our new power supply into the bracket. And then we're going to bolt it into the computer. So this case, excuse me, when I bought it, it was a marketplace find, and it did not have the bracket back here, so I fabricated one. But I'd since gotten a bracket for it, so we don't need a fabricated one no more. So we'll get this out, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Not all of them have those kind of brackets, but some of them do, right? We'll set this to the side since we need to swap the brackets out. And then I'll set it up here where you can see it. So there's the bracket I'm talking about. The power supply bolts into this bracket, and then it bolts into the computer. So we are simply going to take and unbolt this. This is going to be my new test power supply too. So I'll use this when I'm testing motherboards and stuff on the bench here. So that's what this is going to turn into, is just a test power supply from now on. All right. Got one more here. Yeah, it's been a lot more than 4 screws on this job. A lot more than 4. So here we go. We got our power supply sitting up here now. Gonna throw the bracket on top of it and make sure all of our bolt holes line up. And hopefully we are the same as we were when we took it apart. And we're going to go ahead and get some screws started here. We're not going to tighten them until we get them all started, in case it's not lined up exactly right. I don't really want it to be off center. No doubt, man. I miss those days too. Those days are long gone. This thing, if you want to start talking about cable management, I don't know if you noticed this on this case or not, but it literally has a glass panel on both sides. So you have to be spot on your cable management. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. They used to not have windows at all in them. You know, we had solid panels on the outside and the inside, right? All right, so we got our cover back on there. We got our bracket back on there. Now we're going to go ahead and put the case back up. And this one's going to be a little different because we don't have a, it's different because we don't have the luxury of a modular power supply here. So our power supply is just a standard, what I call ATX power supply. And hopefully this is sitting right. I like to turn the fan down to the vented area, so I'm going to put it in just like this with that facing down, which is actually backwards on the writing, but it doesn't matter because if you flip it over the other way, something else is going to be backwards. But the other thing this power supply is going to do is it's going to let me hook the RGB up in this case too. Not that I'm a huge fan of RGB. And this is a computer that I've been hanging on to. So, I mean, this will actually give me the option to sell it, to be honest with you. I flip them on Marketplace all the time. It's how I fund the channel and building what I build. Well, there went that screw. We'll probably never find that again. But maybe if we're lucky, we can find one like it, right? I don't know what you guys think about the cable management. I am perplexed as, yeah, it never used to be a practice, really. I mean, the only person that knew how that cable was managed inside the case back in the day was you, basically. You know, you were the architect of that build. So you were the one that knew, right? We've got to loosen this one back up. These adapter plates and stuff, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of a pain in the butt to do this. All right. I don't know why this thing's not. Sometimes you just got to pick up on the case and you got to hold your tongue just right. And then you can get these started. But I'm going to look briefly for that screw I dropped, but I'm probably not going to find it. That's usually how that works. But it don't hurt to look briefly, right? We look briefly and we don't find it, then we move on. It's that simple. We move on, we find another screw in the box over here, and we pretend like we never dropped a screw, right? Never mind, I think I might have found it. Looks close to right. Well, there it is. So look at that. Won't get that lucky again, I can promise you that. So I'm going to run them 4 screws down real quick. Get a little tightening on them, and we got our power supply installed. So now we're just going to work on our 24 pin, getting it hooked back up. Well, actually what we're going to do is this corner right here. So we'll get you shortened back up one more time here. And I might be able to do this while you're watching, but I'm going to come up through this corner because if our CPU stuff won't hook up, then we're done. I mean, we are done. We're putting it to the side. We're done. We have to be able to get this to hook up. This is uno importance because we need a 4 pin at the top and we need that 8 pin at the bottom, and it both comes from this. So we're going to get our 4 pin from one of these. Don't one of these split? Probably this one, I would think. Hell, it looks like it comes apart, but which one is it? Oh, that one might. I'd almost bet that both of them will. That is CPU power. Yeah. There we go. So we're going to be able to slide this one apart. Just like that. That's going to give us a 4 pin at the top, and we're going to stretch that 8 pin down to go to the bottom, hopefully. But we got to play Houdini and get both of these into this case. That's right. We'll play Houdini to make this happen. Going to take a little bit of magic. All right, so these 2 cables here, not that you can see them, if I wiggle them inside the case, you might be able to, but those are for the RGB on the fan. on the CPU fan, and this is pushing my 8-pin apart, and I need this one to stay in 8-pin. Oh. This is what I was telling you guys earlier. I mean, some of these cases are cut and dry when it comes to putting this stuff together, and some of them are a bear. And this one is just a bear. I mean, that's the only way you can look at it. I got it halfway in there now, so it's kind of stuck halfway in and halfway out, which is great, and it's just pulling it apart. So this, yeah, this part literally does suck. If I had this to do all over again, I'd take this case out to the shop. And I ain't kidding you guys when I tell you this. I would have ground that down right there before I put that motherboard in. Okay, so I'm going to try to reach up here and grab this and then pull it into the case. Got it. Well, there's the first one. Now we got to get the second one to go through. All this stuff is easier said than done. It literally is, but I think I'm going to get this one easier than I did the first one because I have it split in half. So we literally got it on a 4 and 4. Let me see if I can turn it towards you again. There we go. So there's our 4-pin and our 8-pin. And then, of course, our 4-pin. So let's get those plugged in real quick. And we'll do that by setting this down. Because this is the hardest part of putting this power supply in here. So let's get you looking down here one more time. We are going to go down here to the 8-pin, where my finger's at, and then we need a 4-pin up at the top. So I have to run this cabling into this heatsink right here. And it's just a bad design. No better way to put it than that. You're exactly right. Just a bad case design right there. I believe it is an FSP case. So there's our 8-pin. Now we're going to try to get our 4-pin in here. So this is, it's like playing, what is it called? Tetris? This might be a little bit forgiving, more forgiving than the other one I had. But man, I mean, you got a fan in the way trying to plug this thing in, and you got your work cut out for you here. You can't make that up. I mean, you straight up got your work cut out for you. So we're going to try to figure out which 4 of these pins we need here. We know we need 4 of them, right? But what 4 do we need? And this one, of course, has to sit sideways because why would they make it straight where it made sense? You see what I mean? Not only would it make sense if it was straight, but it would make it easier. 0 chance this thing posts first try. I'll bet you money it posts. I know, because it worked before I changed the power supply. It'll work after. That's a fact. And it's sensation. I make them all work. Either that or I catch them on fire. Depends on how far back you want to go in my videos. And you might just see what I'm talking about. It's an Alienware. Don't all Alienwares post? I can't see where to shoot. I'll get that flashlight going again. It'd probably be faster to remove the CPU cooler to put this one in. The problem is you can't, because I have the other one plugged in, the 8-pin, then I can't get this one straight enough or even turn sideways enough There it goes. Just like that. If you hold your tongue right, it'll work every time. So 60% of the time, it works every time. That one is a little bit longer, so we don't have to bridge it as bad down in here, but we're going to anyway, just for aesthetics and to get it out of our fan, per se. So we'll get it where it sits in here a little bit better, and it'll give it a little bit more room on the CPU side of things. So let's do that. We can run our 24 pin in now. Then we get the fun part after we're done with all this of doing the cable management. Yeah, zero fun, right? If I call that fun, there's probably something wrong with my head. All right, so here we go. Got that plugged in. Now we can install our 2080 Super, and we'll run our PCI Express up here. And then we're going to start working on the fan situation. Great, grand, perfect. So we're going to come in at the bottom. We got to make sure there's a couple wires here that I don't want to knock off, or it definitely won't want to fire up for us. Those are the power supply wires. And I do have this hooked to a capture card, so I'll make sure you guys see it post just like I do. And we'll test it as soon as I get the graphics card in it, because we'll have all of our power feeds hooked up. So that 2080 should have probably 2 8-pins if I had to guess. We're going to find out real quick. Put this on its side, grab our 2080 Super, and let's get it back in this build. So get right inside of here. There we go. Get us a couple screws in that. Nope, we got an 8-pin and a 6-pin in this one. There's that. Just getting the screws back in it. Get our back shield back on here. Takes a couple screws in it as well. And then I think we're ready to plug this graphics card in, flip it upright, and we'll see if we get a post out of it. Anybody else at 0% that it'll post, or anybody got the confidence I will that it'll post? I say it'll post first try. So let's see where the rest of you guys and gals stand on it. I say it'll post first try. All right, so let's get this graphics card plugged in real quick. Turn our 6-pin into an 8-pin right here. There we go. Didn't have enough pulled up there. It's fighting me. I don't know why it wouldn't fight me, though. Everything else has been. Okay, so I think we got all of our power hooked up. Let's find out if... Yeah, it's just a swap, so it should post right. We'll see if Dave's right, though. Let's indulge Dave on this one. All right, so let's get our power supply plugged in. Smell for smoke immediately. You know, it is a $55 power supply, $54.99, so definitely want to check for smoke. We'll get our USBs hooked up here. And then, of course, our HDMI cable, which is running to our capture card. So let's get that hooked up real quick. And then I'll go over and click the button to capture the video, and we're going to go ahead and go for the post right here. So let's do this. Let's see if Dave's right or who's right here. All right, capture. Perfect. Let's hit our power button right here. We'll hit the back one. Check for smoke twice. And where's our power up here at? Oh, there she goes. Fans kicked on. RAM lit up. We should get a boot error message on the BIOS, but we'll see. Oh, you guys can't see until I put this where you can see, so give me a minute. Oh. Okay. Now we're set up there. Oh, I seen a flash here. There we go. There's the Alienware, and there's our warning. Right there. So we posted first try. You guys seen it right here on YouTube. Alienware Aurora R7. This is the error that I need to figure out how to get around. So I made this thing boot. Maybe one of you guys know how to do it. Craig, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the chat tonight. We've had a pretty good crowd in here tonight. A lot of chat going on. I'm happy about that. So our error on this one is a power button cable failure, and that's because we don't have the factory Alienware power button hooked up. So I'm literally using the case's power button and making this thing power up. But if we had the factory button, we wouldn't have the error. So I'm going to look for a pin that I can ground. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of magic I can play with these pins and get this error to go away. But I don't think I'm going to do it now. We're just going to boot into Windows because I want to run a quick bench test for you. We should have Nova Bench on it so we can compare this to the 6600 that was in it. So our 700 watt Thermaltake Smart works. Why don't I have a full screen? Probably because I swapped graphics cards. We're going to need internet on it to do anything, so let's go ahead and get that plugged in. I don't know why it's not showing. Now, we'll see if it puts drivers in by itself or not. There we go. Now we got a full screen. Getting a little concerned about that for a second. Okay, so NVIDIA control panel not found. That's fine because I just put this card in and I haven't even installed drivers in this thing yet. So let's go ahead and we've got a RTX, well, 2080. What? I know what's wrong. Numlock. RTX 2080 Super drivers. So we'll go to NVIDIA and download these real quick. This does look like it's got Windows 11 on it, so. And we don't have it hooked up to my super fast internet, which means it's going to take a little bit of time. So how is everyone doing tonight? You can put it in there while we're doing the drivers. Any questions that you might have? Anything on the computer or the power supply swap or anything like that? I'm going to take a look at some of this. I don't remember how the RGB looked before, so I don't know what I really need to plug the RGB in or what cable does what or what does what. So I'm just going to pull on some stuff here maybe until the computer shuts off anyway. Oh, that was an RGB that come unplugged, so we'll pull that back and pretend like it didn't. Maybe we ought to do that when we're not messing with the computer. That'd probably be the best way to do it. I am perplexed. You've been hanging out since the beginning, buddy. Way to hang in there, right? And we did it. I mean, we got it to post on the first try. So we did something right there. I think our driver download's about done here, so we can get that installed real quick. Did anyone watch Tuesday night's video? You can put that in the chat, and I'll talk to you about that a little bit. I can tell you now the full story because I finally got the truth and the full story out of what happened to that computer. So we'll talk about Tuesday nights a little bit, why this is installing the drivers. That was a computer that allegedly fell from his desk. So we'll go with allegedly on that. I found out the true story, and I think that you guys are going to enjoy this story as much as I did, so I'm going to tell it to you. So the guy who has that computer is a local guy to me. And I sold that to him to do iRacing, and it does iRacing very well. Probably 3 or 4 months ago, right? So he hit me up. He actually races in the league I have on iRacing. So he hit me up and he told me his computer fell off the desk and now it don't turn on at all. So this went to a text message, right? And I text him back and I told him, I'll tell you what, I'll try to get it picked up as quick as possible and I'll take a look at it. So he ends up texting me a picture and he was holding a little power switch wire, asking where it went. So I told him what pins on the motherboard via a picture of it. And I said, plug them into the ones with the red on them for the power. So he did it and he could get it to turn on and only stay on a couple minutes because the CPU cooler was busted off of it. So long story short, I ended up picking it up and then bringing it back here, and I did the first part of the video. Well, the second part of the video you're going to see, but I didn't have the story included until I re-delivered it. And I was just honest. I said, look, man, that thing could have fell from the roof, and that's about the damage that it did. So he told me the whole story. He said, okay, he said, this is what really happened. My girlfriend went to Walmart and bought a desk, he said, and she decided to put it together for me. So, I kid you not. Apparently, he said she didn't tighten all the screws because I had my steering wheel mounted to it and I was turning laps on iRacing, and the next thing I know, the whole desk just fell apart and come crashing down, he said. The whole thing fell apart, come crashing down. So the computer hit first, glass shattered everywhere. The desk, pieces of it just fell onto the computer, and then a soda dumped right down, right on top of the computer afterwards. Steering wheel come off in my lap, he said. So that's what went down with that computer. And you're going to see, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if you want to see the fan replacement or anything like that, CPU cooler install, anything like that on that one, because I did kind of separate videos of it, and I did that for a reason, because the fan install, I don't know, you could use it as a separate video if you wanted. I was actually going to do a short video out of it, but it did break a, what do we need here? Create desktop shortcut. Might as well launch NVIDIA GeForce. Now we don't need to do that. So we have our NVIDIA drivers in it. I'm going to look for Nova Bench. And we got it. And then we're going to look at an old score here while we have this open and pulled up. So 3 months ago, we had the 6600 XT. We won a 2477. So pay attention to the GPU scores of 515, right? So we're going to go back to home, and we're going to go ahead and start the benchmarking right here. So let's see what it does. Does anyone think it'll do better now that it's got the RTX 2080 Super? or will it do worse than when it had the RX 6600 XT? It is hilarious, but it's not, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of convenient that he said she put it together. He probably put it together, truth be known, and he didn't feel like getting the right tools out, because I've been there and you probably have too. He didn't feel like getting the wrong tools out, and that man likely did that to himself. He's probably watching a video too. I'll be getting a text in a minute. Yeah, I'm sure the swearing that went on in there was crazy. You think about it. I mean, if you're watching my stream, you're probably a gamer anyway, right? I have my gaming addiction to iRacing. You guys have seen all my iRacing. I've got way too many steering wheels, way too many. But you've seen my addiction to that. He's the Turtle Beach. I've showed it a few times, but the Turtle Beach, what do they call that direct drive? The new, not the newest one, but the first direct drive they did. I have that wheel, and I bought that from him. So that's where I got that wheel from. He never could. He said that it wasn't steady on his desk. Can you imagine if he had a direct drive on there? Oh my God. You talk about an injury, he might have sustained a few of them if that was the case. But you can see right there that we got our benchmarking going on. So that's what you're seeing in the background. And we'll be able to check our scores. I have to remember to slide the window over. Half the screen's frozen, he said. It's fine. It'll work through itself. Trust me. Just be patient. It wasn't a video screwed up. That's just how NovaBench tests. We only got a couple more tests to go through here. Oh, I think I might see what you're saying. No, it looks like it's showing it all on my screen. The camera's frozen, though. Why is half the camera frozen? I'll fix it in a minute. That's kind of funny, though. If I walk out to the side, watch this. I walk over here to the side. It split the screen in half. That is crazy. How did that happen? I don't know how that happened. I'll look at it in a minute. I've never seen it do that before. Just pay attention to the screen right now for the computer. We're going to do the bench test, and then I'll look at the camera. I don't want to turn my Discord notifications on. Oh, we picked up. Look at that. We picked up. So our old score was 2477. We're at a 2665 now. 1461 on the CPU, 613 on the graphics now. That's up from 515. So the 2080 Super is in fact stronger. We go to the report. And what does it show? Power consumption's a little below expected, it says, but that's not a big deal. System ranks higher than 84% of all systems tested. So not bad for an old Alienware Aurora R7. And let me go look at this camera. We got it all juiced up. And I ain't a kidding. It was working fine. It's still messed up, isn't it? All right, let me shut the preview off real quick. I have all kinds of problems from that camera, and I ain't kidding. I can tell you that it's likely the software doing it again, because honestly, this is what happens to this thing. It's got the GoPro really needs to make better Windows drivers for this stuff, but they don't. I mean, that's just the way it is. They don't do it. Alex, welcome to the stream tonight, buddy. All right, so let's try this again. I'm going to have to do a Control-Alt-Delete on this guy. I'm on the main computer right now, messing with this stupid camera again. I'm doing it again. Craig remembers the battle last week. Alex probably does. Some of you were probably tuned in last week when I did the camera battle, right? You can raise your hand if you were tuned in last week when I battled the camera, because I did it for a while. So that's it with that. Let me go here and try the software one more time. Do I need the player or the webcam? Probably the webcam is what I would guess. So I might have to unplug it and refire the camera too. We'll see. Well, that's not working at all. You're going to lose the webcam for a second. We'll just turn on to the screen that we got going on. I'm going to zoom it out of the way because I am going to disconnect it and then reconnect it. And then we're going to see if we can get it to work. That's what we do here. Oh. It's still not right. What? How could it start off work great for most of the stream and just do this now? Yeah, it's not even opening up the GoPro software anymore. So that software is done. It's not opening that up no more. So we had a huge crash apparently. Crash reporter. It seems the application crashed on the last session. Do you want to send a report? Of course I do. Yeah, I want to send a report. It doesn't lock me up, about give people seizures watching my stream. Let's go one more time. Oh, the struggles are real right here at SimStation. The struggles are real. Let me shut this camera off again. And I guess we're going right back to Battle Royale with this thing, and I'm not kidding you. We're not going to spend too much time on it because we got our other stuff going on. I'm just going to take the camera down from the thing where I can turn it on and off. And we're going to try to get the software to go again in it. This GoPro, I think, is junk. It's not detecting the battery anymore. And that's that brand new battery I bought. So it won't charge the battery because it won't detect it. That's great, right? The struggles at SimStation are real sometimes. All right. So let's see if we can get a webcam going now. Well, it'd be nice if we had software, right? I'm not going to spend too much time with this. We'll just get back to our stream on the computer over there. It's either that or I'm going to sit here and fight this thing until I just... Yeah, it's not going to boot up. The software is down. The only way I'll get it to restart is if I restart the whole computer. So let's do the right thing here. And let's just get that camera out of the way so we don't have to look at the frozen screen on it, right? And we can just look at the computer screen. And then we can figure out what other bench test. How about Heaven Bench, Mark? If we're going to blow a power supply up, it'll be on that one, I can promise you. Do I have Heaven on this thing? I do. Let's do it. At least we're doing something, right? Yeah, the GoPro, I'm so sick of it. I'm telling you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on Marketplace, and I'm going to find a camcorder, an old one, and I'll bet I set that thing up for a live stream, and we have no problems with it. You can put your bets in on that one. Let's fire up Nova Bench real quick. I've been working on the Mini ITX. I might throw this another video up on that one. I got the 240 millimeter liquid cooler, and I mounted it in that case. And I also have What else did I do? I'm gonna get a couple thin fans to mount in the top of that case. So we're gonna make that thing. It actually works pretty good the way it is now, but we're gonna make it even better. It's a pretty solid little unit. I'd put it up here, but we got this one in the way. We're gonna mess with the RGB lighting on this in a minute. Oh yeah, we'll pretend like them frame rates aren't. Oh, they're right. It's looking pretty good. This is on high settings. So I wish I had better overlays, but you can probably see it if you look in the top right-hand corner of the screen good. It's not the, well, I can't say it's not always the GoPro camera because that camera is pretty junk. It is a Hero 9 though, so it does have a little bit of age on it, but it doesn't, crazy enough, well, I guess it does have quite a few hours now. It's recorded a lot of content. So it's recorded hours. Let me be honest, it's recorded probably more content than what I even know. But I bought it new originally, and I think I bought it around 2019 or 20, around the time that I originally started the Sensation channel and just never started recording and uploading. It takes a lot to figure the editing and stuff out on this, and I'm still not an expert on it. I mean, I could still use a lot of help when it comes to that department, but it is getting better. So we're running the Heaven benchmark, and I'm standing right behind that power supply. That way, if it explodes, it gets right in my teeth, right? I don't even have to stand over there. I don't know what I'm doing it for. I do appreciate you guys and gals for hanging out. We can chat a little bit while this thing's testing. I'll tell you what, the frame rates look pretty good on it. But I mean, this is a benchmark from what, 2010, 2009, probably. This is a good way, though, to watch your temperatures and stress your GPU. So you can see we're at about 69, 70 degrees Celsius there. And it looks like it's performing pretty solid. So if it makes it through the test and the temps stay in check, we know we're in good shape. I did blow the card out after I got it. I did not re-thermal paste it yet, so we'll see if it needs that. And this is a good way to see that. So what's everybody up to on this Thursday night here? I know what you're doing, Perplexed. You're playing games. War Thunder, I think it was, that I seen you were playing earlier. I used Heaven to see if the card, not necessarily for the performance aspect of it, as much as to see if the card overheats and how stable it is. Because if you want a benchmark that's going to burn 100% of your GPU, Heaven is that benchmark. And if you want one that you're going to test your system with, if you got some kind of getting his ass kicked. Oh, that's like me playing Valorant. I'll tell you guys, my kid plays that, my youngest son, right? He plays Valorant now a lot. And I was telling him, and he laughs about it. My wife does too, but I'm in Valorant, and I'm an older guy, and I'm just learning how to do it, right? So I get in these matches, and I'm still figuring it out and still learning how to do it. I got cussed out. And I'm not making it up. They were just cussing at me. And I'm like, hey, I told this girl, I'm like, be patient. I said, I am an old guy. I said, it's going to take me a little bit to pick this up, right? I'm an old guy. And she literally let me have it. I mean, she told me how bad I sucked and that I shouldn't be playing and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, man, why would you not offer a little help? A little constructive criticism's fine, but you ain't got to tear my ego down. So that's my Valorant experience, and it was kind of funny. I did laugh about it. I don't take a lot of that stuff literal or personal like that. I understand that I probably did upset a few of them because, let's face it, I sucked. I'm new. And when you're new, you don't come right out. If you come out of the box in Valorant, one of them games, and you are just top dog, then you are some kind of spectacular talent, and I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. But not all of us have that luxury, right? And that's what happened. That's my Valorant stories. It does, but you know what? It is what it is, man. It's like I said. I mean, I'm not going to take it too much to heart, but she was feisty, no doubt about it, and she was pretty adamant that I done screwed up. Steve at Gamers Nexus, I like him, but I don't know. I'm more about the PC stuff and not so much about ripping all the companies and shit. I'd rather stay out of that. It's too much drama for me. I don't do drama. It's Simsation. It's a drama free zone. So you guys can come in here and hang out and chat, and we can. I don't know. Eventually, I did burn a computer up in a video and literally caught it on fire, and we might be able to do that on a live stream too. I'm not going to try to do it, but it may happen. You know, that's why we test all this stuff. We want to see what's going to smoke and what's going to work. If it don't work, it's gonna flame out spectacular a lot of times. No pewter pies. But I do not. I like Gamers Nexus. There's a few of them I still watch. Scrap Wars I like from Linus Tech Tips, so I always watch the Scrap Wars. I do my own version of that. We just don't record it. What are we up to on temperature? 77, 78? Ooh. 79. We might have to put some thermal paste on that graphics card. We might have to take that, tear it down, and put some thermal paste on it. That's looking like it's getting a little hotter than I like, and we are still... Did I ever hit benchmark on it? Probably not. That thing's been sitting there playing, and we ain't even benchmark a second of it. Well, we've run it long enough, so let's let it cool off a minute before we give it another go. I can't believe I just did that. I would shut it down and work on the RGB stuff to get the fans working, but there ain't no way I'm getting that camera working tonight. That's not going to happen. I'm going to let this 2080 cool down a minute, though. We were sitting there running it, and we weren't even benchmarking it. So you want to talk about giving it the torture test? We did it. Oh, let's take a look at CPU-Z here. I'll show you a little bit about the hardware, I guess. Intel i7-8700, 14 nanometer, running about 4,400 megahertz right here at idle. Memory, what do we got in here? 32 gigs maybe? 64 gigabytes of DDR4 memory right there. Graphics is our 2080 Super. Let's do the bench test on here too. This will bench test the CPU. We don't need to update this right now. So let's just hit the bench right here. I don't know how this one stacks up. And this does have a little chart, but it's not the best when it comes to looking at this stuff. So I will warn you of that, but we'll heat the CPU up a little bit. It does have a 120 millimeter Corsair liquid cooler on it. And the cooler was pretty much brand new when I bought this on Marketplace. And I believe the young lady is one of the subscribers to the channel, too, that I bought this stuff from. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. You know what I used today? And I probably showed it on a video. One of the live streams, I actually think I showed it. I bought a Elgato green screen. And I bought it from the same young lady I bought this computer case from. Not the motherboard, that come from a different find. But I bought an Elgato green screen, and I got to use it for the first time today. And I even set a chroma key up, and I halfway made it work. So we got it, set it up, set a chroma key up, and we halfway made it work. All right, this time I hit the benchmark button. So if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see that it's actually benchmarking this time. So we won't make that same mistake twice. And that's probably the last thing I'm going to do tonight. So if you have any questions or comments you want to put in there, just chat around a little bit. We can do it while we're benchmarking right here. And then what was I going to tell you? Oh, I literally set the green screen up tonight, or earlier, not tonight, but earlier today, and I recorded an ad. That's right. I know it's unfortunate, but our Tuesday night videos are going to have an ad in there. But I think you're going to find it useful, so you'll have to pay attention Tuesday night when the first ad drops. So there will be it's not a long ad. That's a good part about it. What's the next machine? We don't have a camera. I got to shut the live stream down to get the camera hook working again. So we're down the camera tonight, so we really can't throw any motherboards up there or test any other machines. So we're going to let this one run out on its frame testing. We're only on frame scene 9 of 26, so it's going to take a hot minute. So I used the green screen and the chroma key, and I created an advertisement, and I don't even know if it's approved yet. I sent it into the company, and we'll see if they select it or not. But I was pretty honored to get that message from them that they wanted to advertise with the YouTube. So it was pretty nice of them. They're a legitimate company too, so that worked out pretty good for me. And like I said, everything goes well. I sent the ad video into them. It took me about 60 or 70 takes to make the ad and get it right. Oh, next machine for me in the shop. Next one you're going to see, I can either do part two of that. Let's do part 2 of the broken computer. The one that got the, well, apparently the broken desk that led to the smashed computer. We'll do part 2 of that one. I got that case straightened out really good, actually. I was really happy with how that come out. He was down a fan. We didn't really need to put a second one in there. There wasn't no overheating problems with it before, and certainly not now. And the other thing I was going to tell you is a man sent me a text message after he got it back, and he said, this computer works better now than it did before. And he sent me another text message after that, and it was a screenshot of the lap times, right, on iRacing, and he was at the top of the board. So apparently we got his computer tuned up pretty good for him. But if you've done any kind of sim racing, you know as well as I do that the computer isn't what makes you fast. I can race on potatoes and be fast. I literally took that Crossfire build I did and set it up on a triple screen on iRacing and raced with it. So I did do that. So you may get that one. You might get the Mini ITX, since I got the 240 millimeter cooler doing the RX 6600 in it. I did the 2080 in it first, but it's just too much for the power supply. So maybe that. Marketplace find. I did do a motherboard and a processor on that. And what else? The 2080 Super. That was from a marketplace find too. So got a 5600X. What's that motherboard we got? Holy crap, what's our max frames? That's a pretty good heaven benchmark score right there. 294 average frame, 7405 on the score, 36.6 at a minimum, 507.8. Man, we blew it up over there. Nicely done. Great score right there. Temperature's about 75, so I mean it's warm, but it's not blistering hot, right? I'll tell you what, this Alienware does pretty good. This is not a bad computer at all. We'll take a look at the system for you here. You can see it right there. We're running Windows 11 Pro 24H2, which is activated right here. So definitely a stout computer. I mean, for an old Alienware Aurora R7, right? I'd like to do the RGB fans on it, but we don't have the camera working, so I think we're going to end the stream at this one. Tuesday night, though, will probably be part 2 of the Smash computer. It come out good, and I've got quite a bit of footage on the fan swaps and putting fans in them graphics cards, especially that one's just not as straightforward as what most of them are. It's weird how you got to route that stuff in there on them. So that's going to be kind of fun, straightening the case out, stuff like that. I need to get back in my shop, so I got about 250 foot of Cat 6 cable that I need to run out there so we can have better internet to live stream in the shop. Because we're in September now, so it won't be too long where it cools off down here in Florida where I can start doing a lot more stuff out there. And we may switch our live streams out there, and we may do full fabricating from now on the live streams. So you tell me if you're into that, but I just want to customize some of these cases. You know, I got the one I'm out there working on. So I want to get back on that one and get it finished because I come up with a great idea for that. And if I can get back out in the shop and do a live stream, I think you guys are going to love it. I know I love it. And if I drink a couple of them Yinglings, I'll probably love it a little bit more, right? That's going to do it for this stream, though. We got the camera to work for 3/4 of it, probably, so that was good. We got our power supply swapped out, put RTX 2080 in the Alienware Aurora R7 build. So we got it set up, right? I mean, we got the Alienware cooking pretty good, so that's going to work as our... I'm going to keep that computer as a backup for my main rig because I know it runs the Oculus well. So I know that I can put that on the main rig and it'll do good, right? It is a backup. That's it, though, for this stream. It's been fun. We got the power supply swapped out. We got it working real good with the 2080 Super. Did some bench testing. Really happy with what I see there. And even got to do a little bit of storytelling. I got to tell the story on what happened to the Smash computer that fell from glory. Was it? If it fell from its desk, or its desk fell on it. Maybe it fell from its desk fell on it, and then the soda fell on that. I don't know. But that was Tuesday night's video, so if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out on the YouTube channel now. That'll be a fun one. The Thursday night live streams are fun. I'll be happier when we get in the off season. I'll go ahead and run that 250 foot of Cat 6 as soon as I get time. Guys, I've been busy and I haven't had any time this winter, and I don't think you guys are interested in seeing a guy build a composite deck for his house, but that's probably going to be around October, about the time it starts cooling off down here in Florida. I'm going to have to start working on that, so I got to get that done. I have about 3 acres of heavily wooded property here in Central Florida, so I bought me a Billy Goat brush cutter, and I've been out there cutting brush. So if you guys want to see that, then I can show it too. We got all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be dropping some trees around here and just going to get her, we're going to get her fancied up. I've already been doing quite a bit of work out there, so I'm killing myself, but the good news is I'm losing weight when I'm doing it, so that can't be a bad thing, or maybe it is a bad thing. I don't know yet. But I do appreciate all of your support. I mean, each and every one of you that tune into these live streams on Thursday night. I know there's not a whole big ton of you that do, but I appreciate each and every one of you more than you know. So just pay attention for Tuesday nights, or not pay attention. Tuesday nights videos, 6 p.m. Eastern time like normal. I kind of like the 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Thursday live stream, so we're probably going to stick with that for a little while. But other than that, any questions, put it in the chat. I'll stay here for a couple more minutes and answer them, or anything you want to talk about, actually, just put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. And I'll hang out for a couple more minutes for that. You have a good night too, man. It was fun hanging out with you tonight. A lot of fun. Definitely fun having Craig in here again. Alex stopping in. Dave Simpson, nice of him to stop by. The other name up there I'm not going to attempt to pronounce because I'd probably get it wrong. Majiran, maybe? Thank you for stopping in. Richard Smith, thank you. Thank you, Richard. I'm sure we'll get the live stream to grow and grow, especially as I start getting into stupid stuff in the shop, right? When I'm out there, you wait until you see what I got planned for this case out there, man. I can't wait to show you. I was out there with my cutoff wheel, and I found I may have got a hold of some expanded metal. That's a story for a different time, but I may have got a hold of some expanded metal. That's all I'm going to say. And I was thinking about that front panel. The front panel that I custom fit to it was nice and all, but I think we can do better. I think we could do better on the front panel on that case. I really do. So we're going to attempt it with maybe some expanded metal. I don't know. But we cut it out to fit more fans in it. So I think if we go the way I want to, we can mount the fans right into our front cover, which is going to be nice because we're going to do RGB in that. Next video, I'm going to show you that expanded metal and what I'm thinking. And I'm also going to cut out the side panel so we can do the plexiglass in it, or the Lexan. So we are going to do that on the next shop video. So it may be a few weeks before we get a cold. We won't call it cold front in Florida because there ain't no such thing. Maybe we'll get a little cooler weather. That's the best way to put it. So we'll wait and see if we get a little cooler weather and get the cable run out to the shop so we got good Ethernet out there. That's the way to do it. Thanks for tuning in to the live stream here, though, tonight. It's been a lot of fun. We did get the power supply swapped out. And I know, who was it up there that was it, hold on. Dave Simpson said it had a zero chance of posting on the first try, and we posted on the first try. So we got you on that one. But you could have been right too. But I knew it would post because it posted before we changed the power supply. But that's it for the live stream. Make sure you hit the like button if you were in here and like what you seen. And if you didn't, that's fine too. But I will, you'll see me on Tuesday night. And then, what do you guys think if I did it like a premiere on Tuesday night's video? I've been thinking about doing a premiere on one of them. That might be a good one, Tuesday night's video, to do a premiere on, because I can chat with you in the live chat about different things that I've done to that one that might not have been on camera when it comes to the straightening and stuff. I can tell you it wasn't the easiest one to straighten. That's a fact. It warped that cage in about every direction possible. So it definitely wasn't an easy one to do that to. But that's it. I'm just rambling on. So that's it for the live stream here tonight. Like, comment afterwards, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You guys have a good, safe night and a great weekend. Simsation out.